Once there was a man named Jonathan, who lived in a town with his wife, Lily, and their two children, Harry and Kate. Lily was a housewife. Harry was in 7th grade, and Kate was in 5th. Despite their happy family life, they had one big problem. The house next door was always rented out to troublesome people. Mr. James, the owner, never seemed to find good tenants. Every time a new family moved in, they caused problems. Loud arguments and fights became common. The neighbors often went to Mr. James to tell him about the trouble. So, the house would become vacant again. Jonathan and Lily wished for a peaceful neighborhood. One Sunday morning, Harry and Kate were still in bed. Jonathan woke up early and went for his jog. Lily was in the kitchen. She made tea, toasted bread, peeled bananas, and sliced them. She poured the sliced bananas into a bowl and added chocolate syrup and fresh cream on top. When she was making the omelette, she realized,
"Oh no. The jam is finished."
Soon, Jonathan came back from his jog, locked the door, and entered the kitchen. He sat at the table and asked,
"Didn't they get up yet?"
Lily smiled.
"I'm going to wake them. But it's an off day."
She went to their room, kissed Kate's forehead, and said,
"Wake up, my dear."
Kate opened her eyes and said,
"We are coming, Mom."
Once they sat at the table, Harry asked,
"Mom, where is the jam?"
Lily smiled and said,
"Sorry, my son. The jam is finished."
Harry said,
"It's okay, Mom."
Kate giggled.
Brother needs jam like a phone needs charging.
Everyone laughed. After breakfast, Lily grabbed a notepad from the shelf and sat down in the lounge with a pen.
Okay. Let's see. We need milk and eggs,
she said, writing it down. Harry said,
"Mom, please add soap to the list."
Lily nodded.
Right. And toilet paper too.
Kate added,
Don't forget toothpaste.
After completing the list, Lily looked at Jonathan and said,
Can you go with me for groceries?
Jonathan replied,
"No, dear. I need to clean the bird's cage. You know I can't do it on working days."
Lily smiled.
Okay.
Kate, who was busy watching a movie, shouted,
Mom, I want chocolates and cookies, but not the ones with peanuts. I don't like them.
Lily said,
Okay. Dear.
Lily, with Harry, headed to the store, with Harry helping Lily pick out the items.
Got the eggs, milk, and bread. Mom.
Harry said, placing them in the cart. Then, Lily grabbed some chocolates and cookies. Soon, they were at the counter, paying for everything. The cashier put their items in bags, and they picked them up and headed home. When they reached home, they noticed the next door house had new renters. Their stuff was being unloaded from a carriage. Lily sighed and said,
Oh no.
They entered the house and went to the lounge. They sat down and Kate took out her chocolates and cookies from the grocery bag. Jonathan asked.
What happened?
Lily replied.
New tenants came to the house next door.
Jonathan smiled.
Don't worry. Maybe they are good.
Lily sighed and went to the kitchen to make tea. After tea, Lily began preparing dinner. Jonathan walked into the kitchen and said,
Send the dinner new neighbors.
Lily smiled.
Sure.
She made chicken rice with vegetables and prepared a fresh salad. Then she placed the rice in a tray and headed next door. She knocked on the door, and a lady opened it. Lily smiled warmly.
I'm Lily, from next door. Please take this,
she said, handing over the tray. The lady smiled.
Thank you. Please come in.
Lily shook her head.
No. I know you are busy.
She smiled and returned home. During dinner, Jonathan took some yogurt and placed salad on his plate. He asked,
So, how do the new neighbors seem?
Lily took a bite of her food and said,
The lady looks nice, but I'm not sure yet. I mean, will they be quiet or cause trouble?
Jonathan smiled.
Maybe she and her family will be good.
Lily sighed.
I hope so.
Harry and Kate were enjoying their food. The next day, the lady knocked on the door, holding a bowl.
I made rice porridge.
Lily took the bowl and replied,
Thank you. Please, come in.
They both entered the lounge and sat down.
I'm Laura. I wanted to ask, where do your kids study? I need to enroll mine.
Lily smiled and said,
I can take you there.
Laura nodded.
Thank you. Let's go tomorrow, then.
The next morning, they went to the school. And John and Emma were admitted to the 4th and 2nd grades. Both kids were very excited. One evening, Lily heard loud voices from next door. She froze as she heard Laura shout,
No! You can't take this!
Lily leaned forward, trying to listen. She could hear Robert's voice.
I need it! Laura! You can't stop me!
Lily rubbed her temples.
Oh no.
Lily muttered to herself.
These tenants are like the ones before.
She sighed. That night, Jonathan came home and asked,
Where's your mom?
Harry replied.
She is in her room.
Jonathan went to the room. She looked at him and sighed.
They're just like the tenants before.
Jonathan sat down and said,
Actually, I heard John is a gambler. So, these houses are always in tension.
Lily frowned.
Oh. Poor Laura.
One night, Robert was with his friends. Michael said,
Let's gamble. The winner can take anything from the loser.
Robert hesitated. But Tom and Monty teased him.
Are you afraid?
Robert shook his head.
No.
They started the game, and soon Robert lost. His face darkened. Michael smiled slyly.
I will come tomorrow night.
That night, Robert came in home and said,
I lost the game. Laura. Michael's coming tomorrow night to take whatever he wants from the house.
Laura's eyes widened in shock.
What have you done?
Robert looked down.
I didn't want to, but I couldn't back out.
Then he turned and left. That night, Laura couldn't sleep. Early Sunday morning, she went to Lily's house and told everything, then said,
What do I do now?
Lily thought for a moment, then said,
I have an idea.
She called Harry and Kate and said,
Laura. Let's go to your house.
When they reached Laura's home, Lily immediately spoke.
Laura. First gather your precious things, gold jewelry, paintings, anything you want to protect.
Laura quickly rushed to gather the valuables from the cupboards and other places. John and Emma carried everything to Lily. Lily packed the items in boxes A and D handed them to Harry and Kate.
Harry. Please put them in the attic.
Lily instructed. Harry nodded and placed the boxes in the attic. Then Lily grabbed a ladder and positioned it near the attic. She whispered something in Laura's ear and went back with Harry and Kate. That night, Robert came home with Michael. Michael's eyes immediately fell on the attic, which was filled with boxes. He hurried to the ladder and grabbed it. Laura quickly shouted,
You want to take this ladder?
Michael said.
I just needed to reach the attic.
Laura smiled.
You said you would take whatever you wanted. So you were taking the ladder now because you want it.
Michael was stunned and left without saying a word. Robert said,
You saved us from a great loss. I promise I will never gamble again.
Laura smiled.
Lily made this plan to keep us safe.
Say her thanks.
Laura smiled while John and Emma hugged Robert tightly.